I have nicely cut out the back and front pattern onto fabric. We're going to need 2 pieces for the back. For the front, however, we're going to cut it on a fold. So as you can see, the center front is on the fold line, and we have just one of that. Before we go any further, I'll show you how to transfer the darts onto fabric. Start by taking the front and the back bodice and cutting it on fabric. We've cut out the front and the back. We now need to transfer the waist dart and the bust dart, and then the 2 darts on the back as well. And to do that, I'm just going to make little snips at the legs of the dart. This will typically be on your allowance, so it wouldn't affect your dress or your bodice. But because I'm not going to be sewing this like a normal outfit, I have not put any allowance here. I've just added on the sides and on the shoulders to help me join it to the back. And for the back, since I'm going to be fixing the zip, I've added allowance here as well. So now that I've transferred or made a snip, 2 snips here, one on each side to represent both dart legs, I'm going to do the same thing at the top here and do it for the back as well. Okay, so once we have the dart legs all snipped, we now need to transfer the apex of both darts. To do that, I'm going to just use a pin. I'll insert my pin at the apex. So just push it at the apex and flip your fabric over. Where you have the pin coming out, just make a mark there. I'm going to do the same thing. This time around, I'm going to be lifting just the paper so I can make the mark on this side. So look for your pin and mark it. So that's how you transfer the apex. Now that I've done this, I'll do the same thing for this one. So we have all the darts now transferred to the block. I'm now going to use my ruler to connect its apex to legs, apex to legs. Typically, you'd use a tailor's chalk to achieve these marks and to draw the lines, but I'm just using my pencil so you can see what we're working on today. So I'm going to be connecting it to the first snip here and the second one. I'll repeat the same thing at the top. So here is where I have the first one. The second one is right here. So that's what our pattern now looks like. The waist and bust dart have been drawn. I'm just going to flip my block to the other side and repeat the same steps. Now you have your full front block. You have the waist darts and the bust darts. So I'm going to repeat the same steps I did on the front, on the back as well. What we now need to do is sew in the darts on the back and the front, join the sides and shoulder together, and finish it off at the back with a zip. For our project today, we're beginning with the back bodice. I'll start by sewing the shoulder dart, so the back shoulder dart. You just need to fold this dart for both legs to be touching each other like so. And then sew it all the way to the apex of the dart. So as you can see, it wouldn't be a straight line, it's like a triangle. And I'll repeat the same thing for the bottom. So I'll do that for this side and the other side. So just going to repeat that step. So to ensure there's no puckering at this end, you can just sew it all out and then tie this knot. Make a knot here. You can do it twice to ensure it stays, and then snip it. That's what the shoulder dart now looks like. So I'm going to do the same thing for this bottom dart.
So that's the back. We start now sewing. I'll show you what it looks like inside.
We've sewn the darts for the back. It's now time to sew the front darts. So this is the front and this is the dart all sewn. I'm now just going to give it a nice press so it stays flat on the shoulder and on the waist. So this is what the front panel now looks like, all sewn. So the darts are sewn. This is it on the other side. So this is what yours should look like. This is the back piece. We have both sides of the back all done. I'm now going to attach them with a zip along the center back. So this is my back piece. I've put both sides together, so left and right piece together. For my bodice, I've added just 1 cm of allowance. So I'm going to sew a straight line all the way down along that allowance line. My machine has marks that indicate where 1 centimeter falls. So I'm just going to use that as a guide. Right here. I've also increased my stitch length so that I have a basting stitch. So that's the line sewn. That it's a basting stitch. There's no back stitch. No, I haven't tacked it at any of the ends because I'm going to be loosening this seam. I'm now going to give it a nice press. So this is the line we just sewed from the top all the way to the bottom. As you can see, I've pressed it. You need to open the seam and then press it flat inside. Okay. The next thing to do is I'll be loosening this seam. So this is the back. I have now loosened the basting stitch, but as you can see, the thread as well as the ironing has made a mark on the fabric. This mark is going to serve as a guide when we apply, or when we attach our zip rather. Here I have an invisible zip, and that's what I'm going to be attaching to this. So I'm going to be starting with the left side. This is the mark we have. I'm going to place my zip on that line and sew it down. Please use pins to secure the zip to the fabric. So this is one side of the zip done. I'm now going to do the same thing for the other side. Guys, so our zip is in now. All we need to do is attach the shoulders and the sides of the block. The bodice is all done. This is the front. This is where your bust sits, of course. And you have your back. I'm going to open it up. You have the side seam ironed open and flat on both sides. You do the same thing for the shoulder, of course, and that's it. So this is the final look. You have all your darts in place. If you stay till this point, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.